Hello everyone, in this video let us try and understand the conversion of grammars to a Chomsky normal forms. So let us try to understand what is a normal forms. The definition is normal forms are used to simplify context-free grammars without changing the language they generate. So Chomsky normal forms and Greibach normal forms are the two different normalizations forms that is there. So let us see that what is a Chomsky normal forms. A grammar is said to be a Chomsky normal forms if every production is of the form, that is it should be of the form x tends to xa, x tends to xb. Here we need to make a note of the point that capital letter x, b, c are non-terminals and a is a terminals. So it is like this, non-terminal tends to a terminals or non-terminals tends to a two non-terminals. So this is a format that we are looking for to get a Chomsky normal forms. So now let us see with an example, let us try to convert a given grammars to a Chomsky normal forms. See, now you can see this is not of the format of a Chomsky normal forms. It is a combinations of non-terminals with the terminals with the non-terminals. It is a unit productions, it is a terminal. See, this is in the Chomsky normal forms. A tends to A is in Chomsky normal forms because it satisfies the very first condition. Similar fashion, C tends to C satisfy the condition. Remaining all does not satisfy the conditions of a Chomsky normal forms. So we have to get down that into a Chomsky normal forms. So in order to convert into a Chomsky normal forms, very first thing is that we need to identify which are all the unreachable nodes or the useless productions if it is not terminating. The productions that is not terminating, that is called as an useless productions. Okay, the productions of this sort, like S tends to A and A tends to B and it is not terminating. So this is where you can call all of this as useless production because it is not terminating. It is not generating any data only. So this is called as a useless production. Similar fashions, you have something like S tends to A. It is not reachable. A tends to B. B tends to A. But you have one more production called D and it is taking B, but it is not reachable from the initial state. So this is also of no use. So this is not a reachable one. This is a useless production. This kind of productions, if at all you find, first we need to remove that. The useless productions and the unreachable productions, all of these things we need to identify. We have to clean that particular grammars and then we have to convert into a Chomsky normal forms. Once it has been cleaned, there are 4 steps that is involved in the Chomsky normal forms. The 4 steps are removal of epsilon production, removal of unit productions, removal of mixed productions and removal of long productions. So all of these steps how we are going to be doing, let's understand from this particular problem. So here is a problem statement. The problem statement is S tends to A, C, A tends to B or A, B tends to C or C, C tends to CC or epsilon. So here in order to remove the epsilon, first of all we need to identify which are all the production that is taking epsilon. From here it is very clear that C tends to epsilon. C tends to epsilon. So how to identify which are all taking epsilon character? Say suppose if at all you have something like this, A tends to B, S tends to A tends to B, okay, and B tends to epsilon, means this is a transitive property. So you can see that it is like all of this are taking epsilon. A tends to, S tends to A tends to B, B tends to epsilon. So it is like all S, A, B, all of these things are taking epsilon character. So in the similar fashion, we need to identify that what are the character that is taking epsilon directly and indirectly. So C is taking epsilon, no doubt C is taking epsilon. Similar fashion, from this you can see that S is taking A and A, so hence it will not take epsilon because it will anyhow it will terminate with A and A. Terminators are there. Now A tends to B and B tends to C, C tends to epsilon. So it is A also will take epsilon and also B will take epsilon. So it is here, it is A tends to B, B tends to C, C tends to epsilon. So hence C, A, B, all of this will take epsilon character. So now after identification of the non-terminal which are all taking the epsilon character or epsilon production, once you have identified that, next step is to substitute the epsilon character to that particular position and removing the epsilon from the grammars. So now we understood that how the epsilon characters is being taken to a given set of the production. So now from the previous example, we could identify that A, B, C, A, B, C is taking epsilon character. So now we have to check that what we have to do is that how to remove is that first write the rule as it is. A, C, A, write the rule as it is. Now substitute the epsilon for C first character. Then only A will come. Next substitute the epsilon character for A. If epsilon character for A for the original rule only. Write the original rule as it is and start substituting the epsilon for all different combination. First substitute epsilon for C. Next substitute epsilon for A. Next substitute the epsilon for both A and C. So you will obtain A and A. So this is how the epsilon removal is done. Similar fashion for B also, if you substitute epsilon, write the first rule as it is. First rule, whatever it is there, write the rule as it is and start substituting the epsilon. B take epsilon, then it is like as it is equal to B or A only. Similar fashion, C or C, write this rule as it is and substitute the epsilon characters for this one. If you substitute also, it is like C, capital C and small c and epsilon. See, it is as good as you can write it like C or C only. So like this you will be able to substitute in epsilon characters. Next CC. CC will be there. For C, if you substitute epsilon, you should be able to get a small c, one small c. And you can eliminate the epsilon characters from whatever the original character is there. No? From that you should be able to remove the epsilon character. So this is how the epsilon character has been removed. Now once the epsilon characters is removed, the next step is to remove the unit productions. So here you can see that which are all the unit production. The next step is to remove the unit production. First is to remove the epsilon production. You have a rule, remove the epsilon, identify which are all the characters that is taking or non-terminals taking epsilon and remove the epsilon. Then identify the unit productions. Which are all the unit productions here? Unit productions is of the type non-terminal tends to non-terminals. For example, capital letters tends to a capital letters like this. This is called as a unit production. D tends to C. See, all of this production of this sort, it is called as an unit production. So unit production. Okay. So unit production, how I should be able to remove is, first of all identify A tends to B, B tends to C. Only these are unit production. Only these two are unit production. Now I need to get rid of this unit production. How will I be able to get rid of this particular unit production is, it's very simple. In order to get rid of this unit production, what we have to do is, in the next step, we need to see that what B character is taking, whether it is taking non-unit productions or not. So B takes C. C is once again, it is a unit production. Then B tends to C, substitute the C to that, and also C tends to CC. So B tends to C or CC or A. This is how we are going to be writing. Similar fashion, B also tends to C. This has to be removed, means we will see that what the production it is taking. It is taking the production C tends to CC or C. So substitute the unit characters with it's the productions. So will it see like how we should be able to remove those productions. Okay. Unit production, how we should be able to remove. So here we can see that here is the example you can see. So we have this unit productions, removal of epsilon production. Next one is removal of unit productions. Unit productions you can just compare here how the unit production is removed here. So you can see this is the unit production. So you can see that A is substituted with A, C, A write the A as it is, and B tends to C, C tends to C or CC. Similar fashion, B tends to C, C tends to CC or C. CC or C can also be written as C or CC, or C can be written as C or CC. So that is where you can see B is written like this. So this is how you should be able to remove the unit production. Substitute the productions wherein it is not a unit productions. Similar fashions, once this removal of unit production is done, next step is to remove the mixed productions. See, the rule says that it should be always of this format. X tends to AB, it should be of this format. Now R X tends to A. So it has to be in the both uppercase. Non-terminal tends to two non-terminals, or non-terminals tends to a terminal. So this format it should be there. But here in our case, you can see that this is a mixed. There is lower case, there is uppercase, lowercase, like this. So let's all convert this into a one form, either this form or this form. So which are all the things that is already in the format? You can see that this is in already format. A tends to A's format, A tends to C's format, B tends to C's format. This is in format. Remaining all is not in the format. So what we have to do is we have to convert that into an uppercase. Let's TA is equal to A and T is equal to C. Okay. So convert this A to TA, AC, TA, and A to TA, A, TA. Like this, you convert all of this into uppercase only. If at all non-terminals tends to a terminals, keep that as it is. If you convert that into a non-terminal, once again it will become a unit production. Most of the students will do the mistake here. So don't do that. See, this is the format that we are looking in. It is already in the format, so do not convert. If at all it is not in the format, remove all the mixed productions and convert this into all the uppercase. Once it is done, you can see this is the long production. Now we have to remove the long productions. How will I be able to remove the long productions? The concept is very simple. What I will do is that I am going to be splitting this into two halves, like TA x1. x1 is nothing but A x2. Okay, A x2 is nothing but CTA. So if I combine this one, all of these things, okay, if I combine all these three, I should be able to get this 3. If I combine, I should be able to get TA, A, C, TA. So this is the equation A, TA, A, C, TA. So this is how you should be able to split. Similar fashion, TA is equal to x3. x3 is ATA. So TA, ATA. Similar fashion, TA is equal to x4. TA, TA. So it is already in the format. You need not have to change it anymore. So like this, you are going to be removing all the long production. X tends to AX2, X2 tends to TA2, like this, and remaining all production write as it is. If at all it is in the format, all of this remaining all are in format, write as it is, and write TA is equal to A and TC is equal to C. And then once it is been done, you can see the explanation for the same here, like how we are able to continue, okay, to break it as a. And this process continues until all the productions have at most two non-terminals at most, okay. And here you can see the rules are being written here, and all of these rules are matching to all productions are now of the form X tends to XA or X tends to BC. So this is how you should be able to convert a given set of grammars to a Chomsky normal forms. So here you can see the Chomsky normal forms. To summarize, it is X tends to AB or X tends to BC. The very first step is to remove the epsilon production. Next one is removal of unit production, removal of mixed productions, removal of long productions. And once all of this are in this particular format, stop doing the further simplification and generate a grammar. Thank you. So this is how you should be able to convert a given set of